For the chicken fettuccine pasta, you need a chicken breast. This has been marinated with salt and pepper and a little bit of barbecue sauce. You need some spring onions. You need to cut the stalk off from the rest of the spring onion. This will be used for dressing at the end, and this will be used to start the sauce. I'll show you what that looks like. You have a small clove of garlic. You have a small piece of lemon. The other things that you'll require is obviously a pasta. This is a fettuccine organic pasta. I have some tomato basil sauce. If you want to make it, there's a different recipe. I'm using a ready-made sauce. This is a cocktail sauce. Again, you don't need this. I use it because I like my pasta to have a little bit of a kick. I have some pepper here, some salt, your regular cooking olive oil, and you need a little bit of extra virgin olive oil for seasoning towards the end. What I also have is a little bit of basil for seasoning at the end. I've just put it in some ice cold water to get the freshness going. A couple of other things you'll be needing is a pan like this, which will be used for the pasta itself. And then you'll need a pan like this where you cook the pasta. So the water with the pasta goes in here, and this is where you start the sauce for the pasta. Since we're cooking the chicken, we'll also be needing a grill. I have my grill here piping hot. You can see some of the smoke coming through. I'm going to use some of the cooking oil on the grill. Make sure it's completely coated. So turn it around, make sure it's completely coated. Put it back on the stove. So now you can see that the grill is smoking. I'm going to bring the chicken in and put it away from me. Don't lift the chicken. Each side of the chicken takes about 3 to 3.5 minutes to cook. You want it to be juicy inside. So that's the kind of noise you want to hear. Use your tongs to place it. Make sure each part of the chicken touches the grill. We'll turn this around after 3.5 minutes. There should be a good grill mark. Don't lift it up and see in between as to what's going on. So now it's around 3.5 minutes. I'm going to turn this around. You see the grill mark? That's what you're looking for. As you can see, the chicken's been cooked about 3.5 minutes on each side. It's ready to go. As soon as the chicken comes off the grill, don't try to cut into it. A couple of reasons for that. It's going to be piping hot, so you might burn yourself. The other reason is that the chicken has juices inside of it. The moment you cut into it, when it's piping hot, it's going to run out and it's going to lose all of its flavor. So keep it on the side for 5 to 7 minutes before you cut into it. So I have this pan with the water filled in it. I'm going to bring this up to the boil, throw enough salt in there because the salt is going to dilute with the amount of water in there, and then put the pasta in. When I put the pasta in here is when I'll start making the sauce. I'll show you what that looks like. Now, this is about a couple of minutes away from coming to a boil. I'm going to put about 1.5 tablespoons of salt in there. And then make sure you cover this up. This optimizes the amount of time it takes for the water to come to boil. This is about half a minute away from coming to a boil. I'm going to put this pan on where we're going to be cooking our sauce. Put this on low to medium, tending slightly towards the medium side of heat. And then when you put the pasta in, we'll start with the sauce. So the water here has come up to a boil. So I'm going to remove the lid. This is about 1/3 of the pasta I had in there, roughly about 60 grams, I want to say, for 2 people. So I'm going to twist this in and throw it in there. So it spreads out like that. I'm going to use the tongue and try to squeeze it in without breaking the strands. And I'm going to come back to this every couple of minutes and give it a good spin. Like I said, now that the pasta is in there, we're going to start working on our sauce in this pan. We're going to take a little bit of cooking olive oil. Be generous with it. You see the smoke coming through? What I want to start with here is the spring onions and the garlic. You don't want to burn the garlic. So maybe 15 seconds in, you want to go in with the tomato basil sauce. So now that the sauce is simmered away for 30 seconds, I'm going to bring my cut chicken in and go in with that. This is where you want to put a little bit of pepper in and go in with a pinch of salt. You remember the cocktail sauce that I showed you when I was showing the ingredients? We want to use half a tablespoon of that. Go in there. This is where the interesting bit comes in. I'm going to use this spoon to take some of the pasta water and start putting it in here. This is what will give you the emulsification and give the pasta a nice texture. So the pasta is cooked 60% through. The way I check that is I take a strand and I'll try and bite into it. If I can bite through it, it's fully cooked. That's not where you want to be. I can bite 60% through it very comfortably. I want this to cook for another couple of minutes. The pasta is 80% cooked. I'm not going to drain the pasta. I'm just going to lift the pasta up from here and put it in here so that some of the water carries over. So pick the pasta up, bring it in. And you're going to finish the pasta here. So it's going to cook all the way through, but you're finishing the pasta with the sauce. There's a little bit left. And that's why you need this tongue, because it helps you lift the pasta up fairly easily and then have it with this sauce. You need to cook this sauce for a couple of minutes and then you're through. Then we'll season it and show you what it looks like. So this has been cooking for about a minute. You remember the other part of the spring onion? I'm going to go in with that. And then use half the lemon that you have. Make sure you use your hand as a filter for the lemon. Use half of it here. Keep the half for dressing at the end. And make sure you continue to mix this. Now bring a little bit of pepper in. Go in with that. Gives it a really nice kick to the pasta. And then in a minute, we'll transfer this over, put some basil in, and then we're good to go. So now the pasta is completely ready. I'm going to use a good mixture of the chicken, the sauce, and the pasta. You plate it any which way you want. I'm not great with plating, but this is the way I like to plate it and eat it. Get some of that sauce and chicken in at the top. Now, you remember the basil that we had drained in ice cold water? Put that in. Bring your lemon back. Use your hand as a filter. Squeeze it on top. And you're good to go.